It's time to get your news on. We are VK1WIA.
And it is the WIA National News for week commencing February 18, 2024, in our 29th year of non-stop news. This week, it's going to be a shorty, so get that cup of coffee going real quick because we'll be wrapping up very soon. Okay, discussion point with Jeff Emery, VK4ZPP. Editor-in-Chief of Amateur Radio Magazine, Roger Harrison, VK2ZRH. WIA Director, VK2TSG, Stephen Green. And the new kid on the block. He's just turned 10, obtained his foundation licence, as of tomorrow. I think it's called the Foundation Qualification, and that's VK2COD. Plus, much more in this edition of News from the Wireless Institute of Australia. I'm Editor Graham, VK4BB. We'll be kicking it off with Discussion Point, then AR Magazine's editor, and then WIA Director Stephen Green.
Who listens to radio?
I'm Graham, VK2FA, on behalf of the Hunter Radio Group.
I'm Cole, VK3GTV.
Hi, I'm Paul, VK4PY.
This is Graham, VK4CEG.
Hi, this is Nick, VK7 Whiskey.
That's all.
Hello, I'm Jeff Emery, VK4ZPP, and I've been thinking. Tomorrow is the day that licence fees are no longer required as the class licence regime comes into force. There is still some confusion about how certain matters will be dealt with under this new framework, but it seems that the ACMA has been quite assiduous in following up on detail. It remains to be seen if we will end up with the regulations spelled out in plain language for everyone to understand, not just public servants.
This is Editor-in-Chief of Amateur Radio Magazine, Roger Harrison, VK2ZRH. Once again, I have to speak to you seriously. Last Wednesday, with my heart in my mouth, I was preparing to tell you all the sad news that Amateur Radio Magazine, as we all know and love it, with all its charms and occasional flaws, had come to an end. That the issue you have just received or bought was to be the last. In my piece 2 weeks ago, I mentioned that there was a hiccup, an unforeseen circumstance holding up issue 1, and that after some particular efforts were exerted, the issue rolled off the press and the hiccup was averted. However, hardly a week had passed and the remains, or the echo of, that old hiccup threatened to derail the continued publishing of Amateur Radio Magazine. The hiccup came from a surprising quarter. Nevertheless, a cure for the hiccup was applied, thanks to the stalwart efforts of the Publications Committee, and disruption was, once again, averted. Take a big breath. Thank goodness there will be no repeat this year of the debacle of 2020 that you will recall, when issue 2 was not published until August, a 5-month delay. And with the grateful cooperation of our printer, members then got each issue month by month until all 6 were completed. Incidentally, this saved the Institute from getting into trouble with the consumer protection laws. So, the good ship Amateur Radio Magazine sails on, with all its charms and occasional flaws. Nobody's perfect. Look in the mirror. Amateur Radio Magazine, Volume 92, 2024. More guts, less gab. Proudly produced and printed in Australia. I'm Roger Harrison, VK2ZRH, for VK1WIA News.
Hello, this is Stephen Green, VK2TSG, one of your national WIA directors, with this week's board comment. Amateur Radio Magazine for January-February is now available in newsagents. Members should also be receiving these in the post. As I have mail redirection from my postbox turned on, which is quite slow, I ran out for a copy to look at the quality of the publication, which the board have been looking at recently. We're happy to see there's been several improvements in the paper stock. According to the feedback from this issue, we're quite happy with the changes that are being made. We'd like to keep improvements on the up and up, so if you have any comments, please let us know. On the 19th of this month, upcoming this week, the class licence will be in effect, and the Australian Maritime College has closed amateur radio services in preparation for the change. From the 19th, please direct any queries regarding licensing to the ACMA. Many clubs have delayed classes due to this change, and my own club is restarting in April with foundation classes. 2024 is already moving at an amazing pace, with many clubs returning to normal operation in February. My club is this weekend holding a strategy meeting to make sure that we are covering all the bases for the upcoming year. Perhaps your club could do this too, and also let the WIA board members in your state know how we can best support you. Which rings a bell. Nominations for WIA awards close at the 31st of March. Why not nominate a member of your club or a friend for one of these? Take a look at the website for more information. This has been Stephen, VK2TSG. That's all for now.
From here, there and everywhere, you've tuned to the Wireless Institute of Australia's national news service. We are VK1WIA. Now with international news, Jason, VK2LAW.
Hello. International news with thanks to IARU, RSGB, RAC, ARRL, NZART, EHAM, Amateur Radio Newsline, ICQ Podcast, RadioWorld.com, Hackaday, and the worldwide sources of the WIA. Straight into some good news first. Since January the 4th, the broadcasting station KTWR from Guam on 9900 and 9910 kHz ceased sending secondary transmissions on the 30-metre band 10124 and 10134 kHz. The German Society DARC IARU MS National Coordinator Daniel, Delta Lima 3 Romeo Tango Lima, had involved the German Federal Network Agency BNetza for the purpose of issuing an international complaint. Now the bad news. Transmissions of the Australian Jindalee operational radar network were often received on the 30-metre band, particularly in Europe. 2 arrested after theft of copper from destroyed radio tower. 2 people have been arrested in Texas in connection with the theft of copper from a radio tower in Oklahoma last month. The Choctaw County Sheriff said that the 2 were identified by scrapyard employees in Texas, where 1 day after the 15th January incident, they tried to sell copper wiring from the coax line. Authorities said that the Payne Media Group, the broadcast station's owner, was contacted and confirmed that the copper had come from the tower of KITX, a 50,000-watt station serving southeast Oklahoma and northeast Texas. The station has been live streaming and operating with limited broadcast range following the destruction of the tower. Its guy wires had been cut and its backup generator also was destroyed. In the Caribbean, Australian-made goods are synonymous with quality. For emergency management teams tasked with saving lives and property, quality is the key, and that's why they're choosing Barrett Communications. The island nations of St Vincent and the Grenadines and Tobago, as well as the region-wide Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, have all turned to Barrett Communications HF radios and equipment. CDEMA, based in Barbados, is made up of 19 participating states. In 2021, CDEMA purchased HF radio equipment and accessories, as well as the supply of an HF base station transceiver and supporting accessories from Barrett Communications. Beyond radio, the Caribbean has turned to Australian-made goods for other emergency response systems. Australian shipbuilder Austal has for more than a decade delivered a total of 13 ferries and Coast Guard patrol vessels to Trinidad and Tobago. Potential for Canada to ban SDR devices. Over concerns of devices such as the Flipper Zero that can record and replay wireless signals used for remote keyless entry in cars, Public Safety Canada is proposing a ban of such devices that would include software-defined radios, SDR. pursuing all avenues to ban devices used to steal vehicles by copying the wireless signals for remote keyless entry, such as the Flipper Zero, which would allow for the removal of those devices from the Canadian marketplace through collaboration with law enforcement agencies. Flipper Zero has requested evidence that their devices have been used in criminal activity, suggesting there's currently none. 100 new DAB Plus transmitters across France. Throughout 2023, network operator TDF worked to deploy 100 new DAB Plus transmitters at 70 sites across mainland France. Through this effort, more than 55% of French citizens have access to DAB Plus digital radio signals, and more than 550 radio stations broadcast using the technology in the country. TDF is now currently focused on the second phase of deploying the M1 and M2 national multiplexes, which carry 13 services. Since October, TDF has brought online 44 DAB Plus transmitters. This second phase, which brings DAB Plus reception to new motorways across the country, is scheduled for completion in the first quarter of 2024. Qualifying CubeSats from developing nations will be able to get a free ride into space under a new agreement signed last month between the United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs and ExoLaunch. The Berlin-based company known as ExoLaunch Agreement is part of the Access to Space for All program that opens the door to space for countries that might not otherwise have such access, and presents opportunities for the next generation in developing countries to put their STEM education to work with an eye towards pursuing a space-related career. For VK1WIA National News, in Sydney, I'm Jason, VK2LAW.
Across Australia from VK1WIA, you're tuned to the Wireless Institute of Australia National News Service. In Mandurah, Western Australia, the news can be heard on the Mount William repeater on 146.9 MHz at 9 a.m. every Sunday morning. I'm Mark, VK6QI.
We are VK1WIA. Now, operational news with VK4FUQ. Felix.
Hello there. Hi, now contest-wise 2024. On now the ALLDX CW contest, February 17, 18. Use only the 160, 80, 40, 20, 15 and 10 metre bands. New Zealand's Jock God Memorial Field Day will be next weekend, 24-25 February. ALLDX phone contest March 2 and 3. Use only the 160, 80, 40, 20, 15 and 10 metre bands. IARUHF World Championship July 13-14. Trans-Tasman Low Bin Contest July 21st. This contest is another official WIA contest and will count towards the Peter Brown Contest Champion Awards. August 17-18 Remembrance Day Contest. This contest commemorates the Australian amateurs who died during World War II and is designed to encourage friendly participation and help improve the operating skills of participants. 44th Alara Contest, and this Alara Contest is always held on the last full weekend of August. Eligibility: all licensed operators throughout the world are invited to participate. Scout and Girl Guide groups are encouraged to take part using their club's equipment and call sign. Wilds work everyone. OMs work wilds only. Contest: combined phone NCW run over 24 hours. Starts Saturday 25th of August 2024 at 0600 hours UTC. Ends Sunday 26th of August 2024 at 0559 hours UTC. Suggested frequencies: all HF bands except 160 metres and WARC bands. Contacts made on Egalink will also be accepted. DX window to the world. In a bit of help in the DX world, ARNSW members are invited to the first in a series of HFN10 presentations on Sunday the 25th of February 2024 at VK2WI Dural. This event at 10 a.m. will feature presentations of interest for all levels of expertise. It's a chance to gain insights into portable operation techniques, learn strategies to improve your home station setup, engage with practical demonstrations led by experienced operators, connects with specialists ready to provide assistance and advice. Reserve your spot now by emailing events@arnsw.org.au. Madagascar. Eric, F6ICX is QRV as 5R8IC from St. Marie Island until March 31. Activities on 40 to 10 metres using mainly CW. QSL to home call, which again is F6ICX. Samoa. Operators YT1AD, YU3AA, UA9OLY, and RC90 will be QRV as 5W8A, 5W0AA, 5W0LY, and 5W0RC, respectively, until Monday, 19th February, 10th to 19th. Activity on the HF bands, QSL to home calls. Tonga. Bob, W7YAQ, and Al, K7AR are QRV as A31DK and A31DL, respectively, from Nuku Alofa until February 27. Activity will be on the HF bands, QSL via LOTW. Easter Island. On the wireless is CB0ZA from Robinson Crusoe Island until February 24 on 160 metres, including 60 metres, using CW, SSB, RTTY and FT8 in the expedition mode. QSL via N200. Spain. AO100 radio is on the air all February in celebration of World Radio Day, which was last Tuesday, February 13, and the 100th anniversary of the start of regular radio broadcasting in Spain. QSZ.com for details. For VK1WIA National News, I'm Felix VK4FUQ in Ingham.
From here, there and everywhere, you've tuned to the Wireless Institute of Australia's National News Service. We are VK1WIA. Now, special interest group news with Cole, VK3GTV.
Hello, first up in this week's Worldwide Special Interest Group News, it's Summits on the Air, Worldwide Flora and Fauna Program, Parks on the Air and other adventure groups. East meets West, or does it? New SOTA group is growing for West Malaysian hams. Barely 6 weeks old, the West Malaysia SOTA Association is growing its membership and encouraging hams to join if they're interested in chasing or activating mountain summits as a portable operation. This West Malaysia SOTA Association, launched on the 1st of January, does not include 2 Malaysian states that belong to the East Malaysia SOTA Association. The association's manager, Piju, 9M2PJU, is the Malaysian coordinator for communication with other SOTA organisations, and his role is to ensure Malaysian SOTA ops follow all relevant regulations and standards. Piju said that the West Malaysia region has 373 summits. Bonuses will be given to hams who activate during the monsoon season and during other harsh weather conditions. Worldwide Special Interest Group's Final Frontier. Virgin Galactic has temporarily halted its operations after a small part, an alignment pin, unintentionally detached from the mothership of its rocket-powered spaceplane during the Galactic 06 space tourism flight on January 26. The company assured that the parts lost did not compromise the mission's safety. The alignment pin is, however, crucial for pre-flight procedures, ensuring the spaceship aligns with the mothership. The Federal Aviation Administration will conduct a mishap investigation requiring Virgin Galactic's final report and corrective actions approval before resuming flights. Speaking of flights, Mars Ingenuity helicopter flies into history books. Ingenuity has ended its mission after 72 flights on Mars in 3 years, way beyond its original goal of 5 flights in 30 days. After its successful marathon mission to demonstrate powered, controlled flight on another planet, Ingenuity sustained rotor damage, but the helicopter leaves us with an impressive list of accomplishments and a strong legacy. Still on space news, ongoing efforts persist in a bid to resolve the critical computer glitch affecting NASA's Voyager 1, the most distant human-made object in space, which has experienced disrupted telemetry data transmission since the 14th of November. The glitch impacting the flight data subsystem has prevented access to vital information regarding the spacecraft's propulsion, power and control systems. Suzanne Dodd, Voyager project manager, acknowledges the severity of the situation, emphasising the urgency of addressing the issue due to Voyager 1's age and declining nuclear battery power. NASA remains resolute in its commitment to resolving the issue and ensuring the continued success of the historic Voyager 1 mission. Worldwide Special Interest Groups, IOTA, AF016, Reunion. Terry FY4JI is active on various bands as FR4AV from Reunion Island, AF016, until March 11. QSL via EA5GL. AF057, Borut, S53BV is active from Nosy Be Island as 5R8BV from February 17th to March 3rd on 80 and 40 metres CW and SSB. He has a full-size vertical on the beach, but it will be a holiday-style activity. QSL via home call S53BV, and club log is updated daily. NA056, Isla de la Juventud will see a 9-man Cuban team known as the Pirates DX Group active from Isla de la Juventud NA056 as T44DX March 21 to 25 on HF and VHF bands using various modes. The safest QSL route would be Logbook of the World or maybe a Russian QSL manager RW6HS. Worldwide Special Interest Groups, Radio Scouting. Jota is always the third weekend in October, so mark it in your calendar, stick a note on the fridge or scroll it on the wall. Well, maybe not on the wall, but record it now so you don't forget. Sacramento Girl Scouts have built a ham radio to talk to astronauts. A team of Girl Scouts have tested out their ham radio equipment in East Sacramento, which they built in partnership with the River City Amateur Radio Communications Society to talk with astronauts on the International Space Station. The group was one of 11 educational institutions selected in the USA for the National Aeronautics and Space Administration STEM program. Worldwide Special Interest Groups, Youngsters on the Air, YOTA. And I would normally introduce Alec, VK2MV, for this segment. However, on this occasion, another family member has some news. VK2COD explains.
Thank you, Cole. My name is Alan and I am Alex's younger brother. I have just earned my foundation license when I was 9 years old. I have just turned 10. The day after my 10th birthday, I received my call sign VK2COD. It is good to be an amateur radio operator now. I saw my brother and my dad, VK2LP, operating a station, and that gave me the will to get my own license. I have been studying for about a year now. I have finally have it. As a Yoda, I plan on operating parks with my dad and doing radio stuff at scout camps with my brother. I am a Cub Scout, and it is good to have a radio badge on my uniform now. Hopefully I will make contact with you soon. For VK1WIA National News, I am Alan, VK2COD in Sydney. Now back to you, Cole.
Thank you, Alan, and huge congratulations from the WIA News team on obtaining your amateur licence. Worldwide Special Interest Groups, Video. A reminder to view WIA News on ATV or YouTube. tinyurl.com/WIA-news-videos. That link is a video version of this news compiled by VK5BD Bevan. A tad quick to write that down? No problem. There's a link in the text edition of this news broadcast and in the news section at wia.org.au, or simply search YouTube for VK5BD. And that wraps up the segment for me for this week. Till next time, stay safe. I'm Cole, VK3GTV.
Across Australia, from VK1WIA, you're tuned to the WIA National News Service. In southeast New South Wales, it can be heard from the following locations on the linked repeater system: Bega on 146.750, Cooma 147.375, and northeastern Victoria on 146.625 from 0900 local time every Sunday. I'm Angelo, VK2NWT.
2024, it's a date. Clubs are welcome to email text with audio for this section. Details of all WIA affiliated clubs and societies can be found on the WIA website, wia.org.au, and that website includes email addresses and website links. In VK2, HF Antenna Day, put on by Amateur Radio New South Wales, February 25 at Dural. In VK4, Redcliffe and District's Redfest, April 6. In VK4 again, but it's for all of VK. It's the WIA AGM, May 4 to 5 in Bundaberg. Again in VK, right across VK, National Volunteer Week. It happens Monday 20 to Sunday the 26th of May 2024. It's where we come and thank everybody that volunteers. And I tell you what, we've got a lot of volunteers here at the WIA. In VK5, Amateur Radio Experimenters Group Radio and Electronics Sale. Saturday, October 26, 10 a.m, David Roche Park at Kilbourne. And wrapping up the year in VK3, Spark Rosebud Radio Fest, November 17 at Eastbourne Primary School, Allambie Avenue at Rosebud. Now till next we meet, I'm Graham, VK4BB. Walk softly.
This is VK1WIA. All points of contacts from today's news stories are to be found in print when you read the web editions. www.wia.org.au.
This has been the Wireless Institute of Australia with the weekly news service. This broadcast is in text, audio and video and is accessed on wia.org.au.
Courtesy of Bevan, VK5BD's ATV and YouTube channel, this has been WIA National News. We're back now, live and local, and your voice, your callbacks. And don't forget, tick like.